What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Tailgate Sports Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Tanner Johnson, and with me, as always, is Ricky Scott. Hey, Ricky.
What's up, Tanner? It's been a while.
It has been a while since we recorded. We got tons of coach interviews coming for all the high school teams that we've been doing. It's been pretty good.
Yes, we do.
We've gotten a lot of support from all of them, and we appreciate that from everyone. But we'll do a little housekeeping, then we'll jump into today, and I'll let Ricky introduce this topic because he's the one that came up with it.
Ooh.
So please, everyone, show us your support for our two-man small business. It's just me and Ricky, okay?
Two people.
And we're trying to build something to help support the high school athletes throughout the state of Arizona. We cover, obviously, the NFL because NFL is awesome. We love it. Love talking ball. We cover college football because we want to see the players that go from Arizona go into college football. We got a lot of guys going in this year that are going to be contributors across the nation in Power 5 schools. And so we're pretty excited about that. And we're obviously covering high school football. We're going to hope to eventually just build this out so that we're getting these athletes everything that they could hope for and all the help that they can get, all the exposure that they can get. So please show us your support by liking, favoriting, commenting, and subscribing. We have our YouTube channel as at The Tailgate Sports. All of our social media services at Tailgate Sports Podcast and Tailgate Sports Podcast 24, depending on which platform you're looking on, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, or X. I think it's different on X. Isn't that right?
Yeah, you just got to look for the logo. The logo will get you where you need to go.
All right, look for the logo. Tailgate Sports logo, our lovely little logo. And we really thank you, anyone, for supporting us. It's been awesome. Any support that comes our way directly goes to our ability to help the athletes in Arizona. So, Ricky, what's the topic for today?
We're going to be not only grading off-season acquisitions for every team, but the rookie acquisitions as well, coaching acquisitions, water boy, towel boy, equipment manager,
sign stealer,
massage therapist.
I started watching that documentary on, what was his name? Connor Stallions. That's like some deep takes into there. There's an underground ring of black market sign stealers selling
He was
playbooks to people. It was awesome seeing that. That was one of the best documentaries I've seen in a long time.
Talk about putting that much work and dedication to your craft.
Oh, yeah. I mean, his 3 seasons at the Naval Academy are the 3 winningest seasons in Naval Academy history. That's crazy.
Chaos.
But we're gonna split it up because it's gonna take like 4 hours to do this, Ricky.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely split this up to what?
At least 2 episodes. We're gonna try and do AFC, NFC, but we might only get through like 2 divisions today.
We should definitely go with the South.
AFC South. Yeah, we'll do the AFC South, and you want to do the AFC West?
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, we'll do those 2. All right. The AFC West.
What?
Start with your Denver Broncos.
Well, make me sick, brother.
Denver Broncos. Come on, man.
Let's talk about these Denver donkeys.
So my thoughts on Denver's whole offseason has free agency was good. I liked bringing in Dre Greenlaw, even though he is now hurt and might be delayed playing Talanoa Hufanga. Don't know how much he improved the safety room because he's constantly
I think he improved
hurt.
it a lot. They had all those issues with who was it? Jackson? That was, or was that the year before?
They had one problem, and he replaced the problem. But his problem is that he is hurt constantly. I love Jahdae Barron getting drafted to the Broncos. That was fantastic because then he could play safety if he
shores up that secondary for sure.
I loved the RJ Harvey pick, but outside of that,
what do you think about them adding Evan Ingram to solidify that tight end spot?
I think it's fine. I don't think it's
an improvement.
He can catch the ball. I just don't think it's as drastic of an improvement as everyone's thinking it is. Like I think their offseason's been like a B plus, A minus.
From what they
I
had
mean,
at
they've done
tight end.
some. Yes, he is an improvement, but not a miles ahead improvement. And he benefited mostly because they didn't, outside of Pat Bryant, they didn't add any pass catchers.
What was their defensive? Well, they were ranked what, fifth last year,
Top five, yeah.
and
So they
they
got
only
better at
got
linebacker, which they needed that.
the secondaries got better.
And Hufunga and Barron do make the secondary better. But it was kind of like a hodgepodge defense last year. So I wonder if it's repeatable.
I think
I hope that it is.
their only issue with their defense this year is can they gel and can they stay healthy.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about the pieces they had already,
Yeah.
but I'm worried about the acquisitions because Hufanga, he just came off of what, ACL?
I think so.
Not last year, but the year before, I think.
Yeah, the year before was definitely his ACL.
That's a major injury. Drake Greenlaw, ruptured his Achilles. Super Bowl.
Ruptured his Achilles. And then I think it was his shoulder. He re-hurt his shoulder during the offseason.
And then to switch over to the offense, I mean, Evan Ingram I think it's an improvement, but dude didn't stay healthy for crap last year.
No.
He had a loose fingernail or loose toenail out for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Hamstring.
Yeah. I give it a B plus, A minus. I just don't think they actually improved the weapons on offense enough. I mean, you got Cortland Sutton, and then you got a hodgepodge of whatever that isn't just produce. It just isn't producing. And Pat Bryant is Cortland Sutton. They're basically the same player. Devon Vele is the slot version of Cortland Sutton. So it's just like, I don't know if they're actually better or not on offense. And defensively, I think they are better, which is a scary thought.
Yeah, so, especially if they add on to what they did last year.
Yeah. So, well, what's your grade for the Denver Broncos?
What about an A minus, just to be nice?
Oh, you're going A minus. A minus? That's fine. Let's jump to your Raiders.
Ooh.
Let's talk about the Raiders. Let's talk about the Raiders.
Drastically improved.
Yeah. So you got new head coach, new general manager, whole new draft. You're able to retain Malcolm Kuntz, which was awesome. You should have Christian Wilkins coming back from injury, which,
they say. I mean, he's been at practice, but I don't think he's going to play for the first couple of games.
No, I don't think he's going to play for the first couple of games either.
So
your secondary is still a question mark. I know you got Jacorian Bennett.
It's not a question mark. It's dog shit.
I like Bennett.
There's so many corners out there that we could sign.
There are.
Spend some money, Mr. Davis.
I like Stephon Gilmore.
Did Asante Samuel get signed?
I don't think he has been. I don't think he's been signed yet.
And I like what they did with the, coordinators, the head coach, some of the offense, just like some of the pieces they added. I think Mostert can add some, teach Genty how to be a pro, maybe how to take care of his body, teach him everything he didn't do.
All right, let's see what you got. You added Eric Stokes, which is kind of like a 1-year flyer. If he works out, he works out. If he doesn't, you're not committed to him. Landon Roberts, a worse Robert Spillane, Jeremy Chin, an older Trayvon Merrick. But again, I agree with not wanting to spend the Merrick contract because he was overpaid.
Yeah.
So I don't hate any of that.
70
He
million,
got like
something like
20 mil a year. He was
Yeah.
the highest paid. Him and Cam Bynum were both paid more than John Holland, and Holland's the best of the three. Draft, obviously, you got Genty, which
Huge.
night and day fixes your running game because your offensive line's good.
Yeah.
Like, it's not bad. It's good. You got
Powers Johnson at center.
Powers Johnson at center. You
Miller.
got
What is that, left tackle?
Dylan Parham, Colton Miller. You got Meredith at the right guard. Then you have DJ Glaze. It's just DJ Glaze is your only question mark, but he played well last year. He wasn't bad. And
I was actually really happy with the draft. Jack Betch, great addition.
Love Jack Besh.
I honestly,
Darian Porter.
I like our wide receiver.
Darian Porter. Because you got Jacoby Myers, Jack Besh, Trey Tucker. Who are your other receivers? Dante Thornton.
The long ball guy.
6'5", 4.2 speed. Yeah. Lightning quick dude, and he's huge.
I think L. Davis rolled over in his grave when he's like, yes, let's go.
Then obviously you got Brock Bowers, and I think Michael Mayer is probably going to get traded.
Either that or just be the blocking tight end. He's great at.
He can block. I like drafting Charles Grant.
Great tight end, by the way. If whoever gets him, if we do trade him,
he is. Yeah, he's great. I like the Charles Grant draft pick. He'll compete at right tackle immediately with Glaze, and the winner will
Caleb Rogers
be their right tackle. I think Tommy Millott is probably going to be a wide receiver for you, the quarterback of Montana State.
Yeah,
Cam Miller will be your backup.
On our practice squad.
Wide receiver on your practice squad? Or a tight end. He's big. He's a runner. He's a triple option.
I don't know. Supposedly there's been reports that Brady really likes the quarterback we drafted.
Miller's good. Miller could have been a D1 quarterback, and he stayed at North Dakota.
We're talking about O'Connell not even making the team.
I don't think he will. He's going to get picked up immediately off of waivers. So
yeah, I agree. He'll be someone's third string backup quarterback.
He'll be a backup quarterback in the league for a long time. Like, he's good.
Yeah.
He last year, I think, was a product of a bad situation with a bad play caller, bad run game. So he's just having to chuck the ball to not great receiving core.
His vision's okay. His footwork is terrible. And his pocket presence is absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, it was not good.
If he can work on those, clean that shit up, you're right. He will be a backup quarterback for a long time.
You don't have to clean that shit up to be a backup quarterback.
One that's going to possibly play that needs to get them somewhere. Like one of those journeymen, like Fitzgerald.
Tyrod Taylor. Jacoby Brissett. Yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick. He is Ryan Fitzpatrick. That is who I think Aiden O'Connell is.
No, Ryan Fitzpatrick is fiery.
He is good enough
as a competitor
to start for some team somewhere. But yeah,
like who? The Jaguars,
anyway,
Dolphins.
He would be fantastic on the Dolphins. But I think the Raiders are an A. I like their whole draft, and they were getting value everywhere. They're retaining Malcolm Kuntz and not overpaying for anyone. I think it was pretty big. So, especially because they acquired Geno Smith. Immediately, you're competent now. You got a good running game now. It's going to be good. Plus, I love John Spytek as a GM. So you're going to be constantly drafting and drafting well.
I give them a B+. I like all the additions we added. I think we didn't make drastic changes, but we moved in the right direction.
I'd give it just an A for
a long time.
I'd give it an A for your coach and your GM, your draft. Free agency was the only one that would be less than an A. So I'll give him an A. I like it. Everything moved in the right direction. And that's just what you want.
And that's for the first time in a long time.
That is true. That's first time in a long time. But let's jump to the Chargers.
Ooh,
the Chargers.
The Chargers. All right. Chargers. We'll go with their offseason acquisitions. Mekhi Becton.
Yes.
Brought back Mike Williams. I thought they were going to bring back Allen as well, but that didn't happen. He's still a free agent, which I don't understand.
He's too
Najee
old.
Harris.
And last year showed that he's too old.
I don't know why they brought Najee Harris.
I think they were scared that the Broncos were going to take Omari and Hampton in front of them. And so they're like, we got to sign someone to like have competency.
So Hampton will be the starter.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a 60-40 touch.
I think it'll finish the year closer to like 60-40, 70-30. But I think it's going to start. First? I think it's going to start 50-50 almost.
That's fair. Tyler Conklin, huge pickup. I like that tight end. He was a savior on the Jets.
They signed Bradley Bozeman. They brought him back. They brought back T.R. Tart. They did lose Poona Ford, so that's a huge hole in their run defense. Brought back Klumack. They lost Joey Bosa, but I don't think they wanted Joey Bosa.
I like him on the Bills, though.
As a rotational piece, yeah.
Especially when he was like, man, it's nice to be in a facility where they look like they care about you. It's like, damn.
Yeah, the Chargers are poor as like a franchise.
They're poor, but want to live in one of the most expensive cities in the nation. It's like, come on now.
Yeah, they should have stayed in San Diego.
I agree. But they were San Diego material, baby.
Yeah, they fit the city. They fit everything there. So, they did re-sign Elijah Molden, and I loved Elijah Molden. I didn't think the Titans should have let him go. I think he was a great player and just fell down the depth chart due to just drafting. But I like him. Tarheeb Still and Cam Hart are going to be their starting corners this year, and both of them are good. Played really well last year as rookies.
Well, they're going to be doing a lot of work because I still think that offense is terrible.
Well, you got a better running back now. You got a more healthy running back. Because Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins were both hurt last year.
Yeah, towards the end of the season. They're 3/4 into the season.
And then you could see the switch when they're like, okay, we're not able to run the ball effectively. We're going to start passing the shit out of the ball. And their offense, with no weapons, with Ladd McConkey.
Yeah, but what do they
started
have now?
Putting up decent points. They just drafted Trey Harris.
And that makes them that much better.
Even though Trey Harris is like Quentin Johnston.
So they just drafted another problem.
He's better coming out of college than Quentin Johnston was. Quentin Johnston was always a project. But Trey Harris was like big, tall, contested catch, super athlete.
So Mike Williams will catch the 50-50 balls.
If he can stay healthy.
McConkey is going to be the fucking Hunter Renfrow of the Chargers.
Yes.
He's going to get his touches. He's going to get his patches. Once he starts dropping that ball, everything will change because everyone loved Hunter Renfrow until those fumbles started happening.
Yep. So Hunter Renfrow's on the – he signed with someone. Yeah. They're just bringing everyone in. Talk about them later. I got thoughts on the Panthers. Yeah, they drafted Jamari Caldwell, which is like a 1-for-1 Poona Ford replacement. Like just 1-for-1. Kyle Kennard is your situational pass rusher. I think he was SEC Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, he had the most sacks in the SEC, but he's just a designated pass rusher. So,
what would you give?
Keandre Lambert-Smith is a deep threat. Their offseason, B. I don't think they could have done much, really. They did what they could because they were up against the cap with no weapons, no way to get really around the cap without losing the players that they did.
Are they a playoff team?
Yes, they're still a playoff team. I think they're the second best team in the division still. And that's just a Jim Harbaugh, Justin Herbert belief. Because Ladd McConkey might be the best wide receiver in the division. Who's better? Who's better in that division than Ladd McConkey? I'm not talking tight ends because Brock Bowers is obviously the best tight
Rice,
end. Like,
better than Ladd McConkey.
I don't think Rashee Rice is better than Ladd McConkey.
I don't know how you don't, but
Rashee Rice is a good gadget player, but he's not a route runner. Ladd McConkey can do everything that Rashee Rice can, and then he runs routes better.
I don't think so.
He's just skinnier.
I disagree on that one.
That's the difference. Rashee Rice is rocked up.
He likes to race cars. That's always a good thing.
Yeah, I don't think Rashee Rice. Let's just go. Okay, a B for the Chargers. We're gonna go to Kansas City.
I like the B. I respect the B, but Ladd McConkey.
We'll give him a B. I can't give him any higher than a B. We'll give him a B.
I'm gonna give you a B.
Let me go to Kansas City.
I'm gonna give you a B.
Where the hell is KC?
So KC got the quarterback of the offseason. And Gardner Minshew.
That's right. That's right. They did just get Gardner Minshew. All right.
Gardner said, I'm tired of all these flashing lights and no rings. All right? I need to go somewhere I can possibly get a championship.
They got Christian Fulton, Elijah Mitchell, running back. Jalen Moore will be their starting left tackle for this year. They brought back Hollywood Brown, obviously. I was shocked that they brought back Nick Bolton. I thought for sure Nick Bolton was gone because I loved Leo Chanel, Andrew Tranquil.
They brought back Kareem
Shocked.
Hunt. Franchise tagged him.
They didn't franchise tag Kareem Hunt. They franchise tagged Trey Smith.
It literally says it right here. Franchise tag. Running back Kareem Hunt.
When? That's not this year. Franchise tag is on Trey Smith right now.
Okay,
because he's said to be their most expensive offensive lineman.
Either way,
if they don't sign him.
They brought back Kareem Hunt.
They did bring back Kareem Hunt.
1 year deal.
Yeah, he didn't get franchise tag. I know Trey Smith got franchise tag.
$5 and a used piece of bubble gum.
Yeah, pretty much. Trading away Joe Tooney. I don't love that. I don't like that. Because you actively made your offensive line that was a problem worse.
They didn't get better.
So
that secondary didn't get any better.
Fulton's serviceable. I think he's fine.
I mean, their defensive, their line it's good. It's going to still be good.
Their defensive line will be good.
That's what makes that secondary good. Not their skill.
I trust their GM to find defensive backs that are serviceable for their scheme. And once they leave their scheme, they aren't going to be great.
So Justin
Reed. Like Noel Williams, like it. Huh?
Justin Reed locked down a lot of shit for them.
Yeah. He's gone, isn't he?
Yep.
He's
gone.
He's with the Saints?
Where did he go? I think so.
He's with Washington. I think he's with Washington.
I don't like DeAndre Hopkins going to the Ravens. That was stupid.
He didn't do anything for the Chiefs.
I mean, he had some good games, but he's a guy that likes to catch the ball, likes to get his touches, and said, "Hey, let's go to a triple option team."
Yeah, yeah. So, but KC drafted Josh Simmons, who I think was fantastic. That was probably my favorite pick of the entire first round. Like, to get the value of what Josh Simmons can be at 32, trading back to 32. And just, you know that, what's his face? Who did I say? Jalen Moore. Jalen Moore is going to be your left tackle this year while Josh Simmons recovers from his ACL tear. So, Omar Norman Lott, I don't love that, especially because you lost a lot of your run defense, losing Trayshawn Wharton. And Omar Norman Lott is more of a pass rusher, like Chris Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Ashton Gillette is just another one of their George Karlaftis edge rushers. I love Jalen Royals, and I love Brashard Smith. He's going to be Jerick McKinnon. So
You hope.
I would give their draft as an A plus.
Well, A plus.
An A. I'll give it an A.
Are you
I'll give
okay?
their draft as an A. But their free agency is a B minus at best. So I'm going to slap it into a B minus offseason.
I like it. I respect that.
B minus offseason. I can't get behind a lot of the decisions they made because I would have let Trey Smith walk instead of getting rid of Joe Tooney. So, but that's just me. That's why I don't run teams.
You could.
So, let's jump to the AFC South.
The South. Who are we starting with? The Texans?
Houston. Yeah, Houston.
Houston?
Start with Houston. So, Houston trades out of the first round of the draft. They draft Jaden Higgins, Ariante Ursary will be offensive linemen. They traded away Laramie Tunsil. They actively got worse at offensive line, hoping that a negative presence, just removing that, can be a bonus to the entire team. But
They had
they did sign it. They signed Cam Robinson, didn't
They
they?
had Stephon Diggs as a notable loss, but I think that was a great loss for them.
Yeah. They traded for Chauncey Gardner Johnson.
He's a very questionable, amazing player, but if he doesn't want to play for that team, you're fucked.
No, he's out. Yeah.
Once he checks out.
Yeah. Once he doesn't want to be there, he's done. They added Ed Ingram and Laken Tomlinson.
They had a huge wide receiver pickup in Christian Kirk.
They traded for Christian Kirk. I couldn't believe they traded for Christian Kirk. They were going to cut him. You could have paid less for Christian Kirk. But they drafted both the Iowa State wide receivers. I thought that was funny.
We need both of you guys.
Higgins and Knoll. I think Higgins is immediately your number 2 wide receiver, and then Knoll will compete with Christian Kirk for the slot role.
I like that.
But obviously they got Woody Marks.
I like that pickup. Is he the instant backup running back?
Yes.
I say that's a 70-30
because they actively don't like Dameon Pierce.
I like the 70-30 touch on that.
It's going to be like 80-20. Joe Mixon needs so much volume to be worth what they're paying him.
But I think
that's the biggest problem.
Makes the best out of all his touches.
So I think he'll be a good replacement when Mixon does get hurt this year. I don't think he'll have a big drop off, but
because he was huge
I think he's a good pass catcher. I think he's a great pass catcher.
Yeah, I get it.
So third down, he's going to be a good check down for CJ Stroud. But honestly, I would put a B minus to a C
plus.
C plus. I'll give him a plus. C plus, just because you actively got worse in a division where everyone else.
Over the place.
Yeah. You're also in a division where every other team got better.
Their line. I'm not gonna say the Colts got better.
Okay, I won't say the Colts got better, but everyone you actively chose to get worse at offensive line and gave up way too many assets for a wide receiver room, which means that Tank Dell probably is not going to play ever again.
Coming back.
So this offseason just tells you that Tank Dell probably will not play. They chose to actively get worse. I think their defense is great. It's still the best defense in the division, but I think their secondary is really good, and I think their secondary, as long as C.J. Gardner-Johnson actually plays, I think it's really good. Their linebackers are fine. It's just serviceable linebackers, nothing crazy. Will Anderson is good. Danielle Hunter's good. I don't like their interior. Their interior needs to get better. But, it's kind of is what it is with their interior. So C+ for me. You'll give them a B-.
Average out, C+.
So
let's move on to your second favorite team.
The Colts?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do
since they all of a sudden got better out of nowhere.
Tyler Warren does make them better by himself. Obviously, they fire their defensive coordinator and replace him with Lou Anarumo, which I thought was awesome. I was like, Anarumo is a good coach, and the Bengals just suck at drafting. So, obviously, they brought in Daniel Jones to make an active competition at quarterback. And they also drafted Riley Leonard. So there's a 3-way competition.
Will be the starting quarterback of the Colts
at some point this year.
No, at the first game.
I don't know if he's the first game.
Richardson's ass, brother.
Yeah. I don't think he has that fire.
I don't need to even see him compete to see
It's just he doesn't have the fire, man. Daniel Jones wants to play. That's the biggest problem, is Daniel Jones wants to play, and I don't know if Anthony Richardson wants to play. Would do anything to play.
I just think the volume of the offense, the productivity is not there. There's no movement, there's no plus. I don't see it.
Okay, you slap Riley Leonard into that offense, noodle armed Riley Leonard, who can't throw a ball to save his life, and that offense is more functional than it was last year because he cares so much, and they don't have to throw out half the playbook to play Joe Flacco. I thought that was the dumbest mistake last year. They should have had
will be
Tyler Huntley. They should have had some running quarterback. They added Charvarius Ward. Love that. Cam Bynum, they way overpaid Cam Bynum.
Had to. They're desperate.
I guess so. But I don't love that because he's a box safety, and they're going to try and have him play free safety. So I don't understand that one. I think Steichen and Ballard are probably going to be fired at the end of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I think they're going to finish. I think they're going to finish at best third in the division, or they could finish fourth and have a top 10 pick.
Yeah, they'll finish last.
So, but free agency, they get a B. And draft, Tyler Warren, JT Tuimoloau, Justin Wally was a bad pick. I like DJ Giddens. I think DJ Giddens is going to be their starter by the end of the season. Just because Jonathan Taylor's hurt so much. So if they want Jonathan Taylor to stay healthy, they're going to start playing Giddens.
Who's the
split
backup
at 64?
Back?
Currently?
On the depth chart, number 2?
It's probably DJ Giddens by this point.
I don't think it is.
Colts depth chart.
Isn't it the Bears' old quarterback or running back?
Who? Running back Khalil Herbert.
Yeah, he's backup.
They traded for Khalil Herbert. I don't. DJ Giddens is more like a Jonathan Taylor. I think they're going to be riding Giddens more than Herbert.
Well,
because even then Herbert didn't play. They played Goodson instead of Herbert.
Overall, I give them a C.
Yeah.
They didn't get better at all. They got worse.
I have to agree with I'll agree with the C. I don't, but I think they were trapped into this. I think they made a bad decision by paying some of the players that they paid, and then they just didn't improve.
Their offensive, their skill players are not bad. They got Pittman, Josh Downs. They got old boy from
Alec
Texas.
Pierce, A.D. Mitchell,
And then now they got Tyler Warren. The running back game is their running game's not bad. It's that quarterback. They don't have no inconsistency at quarterback is what's killing them. No leadership.
That's why I said Riley Leonard is all leadership, no physical ability.
Yeah, but I think Danny Dimes will come in and steal that job easy.
I think he will be the starter for sure by the end of the year.
But he's just going to be...
And they'll start winning games. It's because they need to win games.
You know what he's going to be for the Colts? He's going to be another Phillip Rivers. He's going to be another Matty Ice. Another Joe Flacco for the team.
Yep.
Just a plug-in one-year player.
Yep. I don't... It doesn't... Okay, that's my other thing is I guess he is young enough that he could potentially be your franchise quarterback, but like it's the same thing with Russell Wilson. Like why would I start Russell Wilson over Justin Fields? Russell Wilson isn't the future. I know that. So why not just have Justin Fields play the whole year and see what you have in him and then bring him back if he plays well? And he played well. It's like that's like I don't know. Daniel Jones is more of the Justin
Fields, he was checked out.
Yeah, Fields was gone the moment they benched him. All right.
I'll give him a C.
C. Give him a C. You keeping track of these?
Jacksonville Jaguars. Well, yeah, of course I'm keeping track of these. I'm just going to take the recording, watch tape, and then...
Good. At least someone's keeping track of these. Okay. We got the Jaguars. They fired Doug Peterson, hired Liam Cohen. Then Liam Cohen's like middle finger to Trent Baalke, and then they hired I forget the guy's name. He's like the most nondescript looking guy in the room. Like I would never know that he's the GM. But I like him. Let's speed through these. Jacksonville, don't love their free agency. I like Patrick McCarry. He'll be one of their starting guards. But outside of that, Jordan Lewis, they have 3 slot corners on the roster. And Tyson Campbell. And Tyson Campbell's like one of the best corners in the league, one of the worst corners in the league. One of the best, one of the worst. There is no in between with him. Their draft, trading up to take Travis Hunter, I think it was fantastic. I think he's going to be their number 1 wide receiver.
I don't think so. I think he's going to be a bust.
No, there's no way he busts. Worst case, he's their number 2 wide receiver.
Have you been seeing his...
Did you see Jamar Chase's after he got drafted? I can't see the ball. There's no white stripe on the ball. That was Jamar Chase's excuse for dropping passes in training camp.
His route running was still fantastic. Dude, they put up some clip of somebody in a movie that looked like a fucking idiot. They're like, look at Travis Hunter. Oh, who was it? No, it was have you seen that show All American?
Yeah.
They're like, look at it, it's the same as James's routes. It's all stumbling.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think he's going to be their number 1 wide receiver. BTJ is good.
No, not if he's.
But I think corner. They drafted Travis Hunter to be a wide receiver.
They still
outside
got
of him,
old boy from the Bills on their roster, right?
No, they cut him. They cut Gabe Davis.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they cut him like a week before the draft, like right before the draft. They drafted Wyatt Millum to play guard. Bayshaw Tootin is going to be their starting running back by the end of the year.
They should have
Outside of that, I
drafted,
mean,
Etienne's
this is
brother.
another B, even with how highly I think of Travis Hunter. This is a B offseason.
I agree.
I love Liam Cohen. Jury's out on the on the GM. Because even then, Balky did the free agency period. Like their new GM didn't do free agency, he just did the draft. So
I'm excited
let's
about
bust
the
into
Titans.
Yeah, let's do the Titans real quick.
To watch them bust.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So let's talk. Can I separate this into what I think of their free agency and what I think of their draft?
Yes.
I'll split their draft into individual picks too. So I got lots of thoughts on the Titans. Pieces of crap. So obviously their free agency. Draymond Jones does nothing. Cut Harold Landry, does nothing. Signing Kevin Zeitler, awesome. Love it. Starting right guard for you. Blake Hance, good depth. Van Jefferson, not going to play on the team. Xavier Woods will probably start at safety. Cutting Ryan Stonehouse and signing Johnny Hecker. Who?
Tyler Lockett. Your wide receiver.
Signing Tyler Lockett. Doesn't do anything. Does not do anything for your team. Like, he's too old to do anything. Okay, here's this other stat. Okay. Their 5 highest snap getters at linebacker. All five starting linebackers they had through the season, all gone.
Damn.
Their 6th only played 40 snaps. Otis Reese the 4th. He played 40 snaps on defense, and he is now one of their starting linebackers. And they signed and paid good money to Cody Barton. I don't even want to talk about Dan Moore Jr. I don't even want to talk about that signing. Like, immediately, free agency opens. Dan Moore Jr. signed. Check mark. You're freaking kidding me.
Throw the check.
Like, okay. Let me read you his contract. Okay. They also overpaid him. Ronnie Stanley's getting paid less than Dan Moore Jr. Okay. Like, Dan Moore, 4 years, $82 million, $50 million guaranteed. His projected was 3 years, 45. He's making $30 million of his guaranteed money this year. They can cut him after this season, which is probably what they're going to do. Because, man, he is a top 10 highest paid tackle in the league. And his team didn't even want him. Okay. Quickly running through the draft. Cam Ward, everyone knew it was going to be Cam Ward. This whole offseason is graded off of Cam Ward, whether he is a success or not. Oluwafemi Oladejo, did not love that. Did not think that was good. There was, like, I understand trading back because they traded back with Seattle so that they could get a 3rd-round pick because they didn't have a 3rd-round pick. You trade back. Nick Scorton gets taken in front of you. Had you been able to get Nick Scorton,
that was your guy.
I would have been perfectly fine with it. But Femi Oladejo, not great. Like, I would have. Okay. He is. The bet that they're making is that he does the Abdul Carter thing in the NFL, where he just develops. But Abdul Carter did it in college when Femi did not. Okay. Kevin Winston Jr., fantastic. I loved that. That was a great pick. He's going to be a starting safety for him for at least the next 4 years. Chimere DK, did not understand that one. Kind of was a head scratcher. Gunnar Helm,
don't forget.
Fine. Signing Restrepo. Cam Ward attempted to get the Titans to trade back up into the draft, like give up future draft capital in order to take Restrepo in the draft. But they signed him as a UDFA. So Restrepo is going to be their starting slot receiver as a UDFA.
Wow, he looked good in camp. Rookie mini camp.
He's great. He just isn't fast. Like, he does everything, all the difficult things very well.
Better than DK?
Yeah. DK is just a deep threat. Elikai Omaner, the value was great in the 4th round. I thought he was going to be a 3rd or 2nd round pick.
I think he only drafted Gunnar Helm because he has such a badass name.
Yeah, probably. Jackson Slater does nothing for you. Marcus Harris does nothing for you. Khalil Mullings, thumper. They don't have a thumper as a running back on the team. So the draft, some head scratchers. Free agency was bad, like actively bad, outside of Kevin Zeitler. And even then, Zeitler's just a 1-year guy. So I would give them a C+ at best.
I agree. Total, overall, draft?
Overall, C+. Mm-hmm. Okay. Overall, I think they hurt their team actively in free agency and got better in through the draft. So I could say a B-, but I'd be lying to myself. Like I really did not like most of the moves.
Who's your guys' true number 1 wide receiver?
They're hoping it's Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley's a 2. Everyone knows that.
Damn. Bringing in Amari Cooper would have been good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bringing in Allen would be good.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. And nope. The Keenan Allen, Restrepo's going to play that slot role that Keenan Allen plays. Keenan Allen is fine. Amari Cooper, they should have brought someone in.
I'm not talking about bringing them in because you need those players. I'm talking about bringing these guys in because they could help develop Cam Ward into his.
I know. That was the whole mindset with signing DeAndre Hopkins for Will Levis. Like, you have a good number 1 wide receiver that you just have to get the ball to while you develop. And then they actively just, So not a great. Word is that the Saints are looking to trade Olave, and the Steelers are interested. I know the Titans are interested. I know the Patriots are interested.
Cam Ward could either be...
He's going to be entertaining. That's what he's going to be.
Or he could be Vince Young.
Okay. He's on the Josh Allen to Will Levis spectrum of gunslinger. I'm just hoping he's slightly above towards the Josh Allen side, where he makes enough positive plays to offset his bonehead mistakes. And Will Levis is just a bonehead.
I think his ceiling is Penix in his last year at Washington.
Mm-hmm.
His floor, Vince Young.
Is Will Levis. his floor is Will Levis.
Vince Young was bad.
Okay, did you watch Will Levis last year?
No. I would have got...
There was a point in the season where Will Levis had thrown more points for an opposing team than for the Titans. Okay? So, all right. That was the AFC South and West. We'll jump on to do 2 more divisions next time. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
4-episode.
Yeah, we'll do a 4-episode part. Two each time. There you go. So, thanks, everyone, for watching and listening. Don't forget to show us your support. Comment, subscribe, like, and give us ratings. We'll read every 5-star rating that we get on Apple Podcasts. I do go through everything and read the comments. Thanks for listening in.
Tanner loves you.
We'll see you next time.
Tanner loves you.
Yes, I do. Very much. We'll see you.
Peace.